Good morning everyone, my name is Chiang and welcome to Design Malaysia. We are in Georgetown Penang. Georgetown was recognized by UNESCO in 2008 as the World Cultural Heritage Site. Today we're at Hin Bus Depot, and Hin Bus Depot to me is one of the most important urban rejuvenation projects in Malaysia and also in Penang. I find the project to be very interesting because the project serves a very specific purpose. The project is located in the middle of Georgetown. There's no doubt that this is a very prime real estate space. But instead of selling the land or redeveloping the land or using it for commercial purpose, the owner has actually made a conscious decision to actually keep the space as an active art space. It actually become part of the Penang story. And to me, that is something that is really special. Now before we start, if you like what you see today, please feel free to like, share and subscribe to the channel. That will really help us out.
When we started this space, we knew that this is a space that the community can come together and a space that Penang don't have. We have always aware of that, and even when we started the Sunday market, it was with the same idea. Hin Bus Depot, as its name suggests, used to be a very old bus depot. It's under the Hin company. It was built in 1947. Hin Bus Depot is also called the Blue Buses. So the Blue Buses will go from town all the way to Batu Tinggi. It was in operation, I believe, for about 30 years, and then it was taken over by another company and they moved the bus depot to another location. So ever since then, this space, it was a scrapyard, I believe, and it was also a mechanic workshop. In the last 15 years, it was just left abandoned. So when we acquired this space about 10 years ago, when we came in, the first time we saw this place, it was very much dilapidated. A lot of rubbish. There were a lot of drug addicts as well. So at that time, we were at a loss. We knew that this is a very good location, especially it's in town, but it's slightly off the main area of Georgetown. We actually came in as an investor, so we invest in a few properties. So this is one of the properties we invested in. Usually our way of doing things is we invest, we rent out, and then we get some income and revenue, and when the time is right, we develop. Same with Hin Bus Depot. When we acquired this space, we also had that in mind. But we found that during the early days, renting out to a suitable tenant was quite difficult. We feel that this area, because at that time was a bit of a slum, I think it is to our interest that if we can do something or contribute in some way to sort of help bring up this area, I think we can, because we have the size. And we also have a very interesting building, which is an Art Deco building in Penang. In Penang, you can see a lot of Straits Heritage architecture, but not so much the Art Deco. We were looking for the right suitable tenant. We couldn't. It was only after 3 years that Ernest Zakarevic, who we all know that drew the famous mural, he wanted to do his first solo exhibition, and he wanted to do it in Penang, because Penang was the one that actually helped him to be where he is today. He was looking around for the suitable venue. He couldn't find one, and this was one of the last venue that I actually took him. He came in and then he immediately he knew that this was the most suitable, best place for him. So at that time, as I mentioned, it was very rundown, and within a very short period, we just put back as much as we can with as little interference as possible to the existing feel of the space. It was very important from the beginning that we didn't want to over-restore the building, because at that time we see personally where there were a lot of over-restoration. You don't get that connection. So when we did this restoration or sort of repair, we have that in mind. So as you can see, a lot of the walls, the color we have not touched. It's original. Except for the main infrastructure like the roof, we put in new one, obviously, because when we came in, it was already gone. We put in new toilets. This was virtually non-existent when we came in. Everything else we try and keep it as original as possible, where we don't even paint it, we don't even touch it. The whole idea is when people come in, we want them to feel the connection to the original function of this space, which really was to serve the community. Ever since 5 years ago, when we started this Hin Bus Depot as an art space, I think we still maintain that same idea, which is to serve the community. So that's why it's a very community-based space. On the Sunday market that happens on every Sunday, it is really to open up the space for our community of small business owners, a platform for them to showcase their own products and to allow locals and also tourists to come and appreciate what Penang has to offer. The good thing about this investment is that it was a local Penang family that acquired this space. We are not rushing into quickly developing it and realizing the profit. While we wait, if we can benefit Penang or the community first and then at the same time earn some revenue from it, why not? We know that it's a long-term investment. The timing was so perfect that Ernest wanted to do his exhibition and we somehow accidentally got ourselves into the art scene. And the good thing with art is it can be anywhere. It doesn't have to be in a very good location, and yet it can be very interesting. So one of the ideas we have also is the selection of our tenants. You see, gentrification can be good and bad. If you gentrify in a way that you allow big foreign businesses to come in and set up, then it may be not so good for the local community. So what we do here is we try to control in the sense that the tenants are mostly the locals, small business owners who has a lot of passion in what they want to do, and they are looking for a suitable location with a suitable rental. As you can see, we don't have a lot of big names like the Starbucks. That would not be in line with what we have in mind in the beginning, which is to serve the community. We still want to improve, we still want it to develop. We want new modern amenities, we want cafes, we want nice space, but how do we do that in the right way? What I learned throughout my experience in managing this space is that if you really have that passion and you can wake up every morning and look forward to doing what you really like, people will see that. People will see your effort. They will also appreciate your effort. So a lot of the vendors, they appreciate the effort that the people here has put in for this space. They themselves also become inspired and want to do their things well as well and to showcase our product. It is important that you show that in whatever you do. These people will know it, they will realize and they will see it, and they will also take the same cue in whatever they do for in their own business or their own product.